my name is Eva and welcome to this channel. Today we're going to be talking about how I got my IUD and my whole experience with that. So let's jump right into it. So I was actually taking the birth control pill for about 3 years before making the decision to switch over to an IUD. It went over with me pretty well. I didn't notice any serious side effects and I was pretty good at taking it on time. The reason why I wanted to get an IUD is because I wanted something a little bit more long term, and just the way that the money worked, it was less money to just pay it up front, whereas I was ending up like having to pay every 3 months to get more birth control, and it ended up being more money than getting an IUD. Canadian healthcare system. Figure out how much you can get covered. You can get more covered than at least initially I thought. So I was like, hey, hormones work with me pretty well. I'm not noticing any serious side effects. I want something a little bit more long term. So I decided to get the hormonal IUD, also known as the IUS, or intrauterine system. So I went to my family doctor. I was like, hey, here's what's up. They gave me a rundown of the side effects and just like gave me more information so that I could make an educated decision. And because I don't live in the same town as my family does, I live away from university, they were like, hey, do you want to get it inserted here or there? And I was like, there. So they sorted that out. A doctor's office there will call you and set up an appointment. So that was really easy. All I had to do was tell my family doctor and a call would come. So in addition to setting me up with a doctor in the town that I wanted, my family doctor gave me a prescription for the actual physical little tiny T-shaped IUD. So I went to the pharmacy, gave the prescription, and I got my IUD in a big box, which is really weird because it's only really little. And I held it, put that in my room for a little bit until I was gonna bring it to the appointment. For my actual appointment getting the IUD/IUS in, I brought the huge box, and I got to the hospital and they got me to fill in a sheet of paper with kind of like my medical background, typical stuff, and then a nurse called me in and she got me to pee in a cup, and that was for a pregnancy test because they can't put in an IUS without a negative pregnancy test. After that, they're all like, you're all good, come on in. I met a lovely gynecologist who again gave me the same rundown as my family doctor had months before, and I was able to ask questions again and just make sure that I was able to have all the information before making the decision. After that, it was time to put it in. They took it out of the box, little tiny T-shaped device, and the first thing they have to do is they have to make sure that you can get up your uterus. And it's actually easier if you're on your period. So that, double that check was the most painful part of the process. So that was about a 7 or a 6 out of 10 pain for about 10 seconds or 5 seconds. And I was like, ugh! And then she's like, okay, it's good, we can put it in. And then I was like, can I hold somebody's hand? She's like, yeah, of course, you can squeeze the nurse's hand. And they put it in, and that was about a 5 pain for 5 seconds actually putting it in. And then after that, they're like, okay, you're all good to go. You might have cramps for the rest of the day, but you should be fine. So boy, were they right about cramping. Basically, immediately after they put it in, it was like, the uterus pain. And they actually had some pain meds, and they're like, yeah, you can take those on your way. Thank you, bless. And I'm not gonna lie, the pain was pretty awful. I don't usually get very bad period cramps, so it was the worst period cramps I usually get, or more, for about 5 or 7 hours. I was able to put a heating pad over it and watch some Friends and kind of forget that it was happening. And then after that period of time, it went away, and I haven't felt any pain or cramping since. So I've had the IUD or IUS in for about 3 weeks now, and feels normal. Don't have to worry about taking a birth control pill at the same time every day. I did notice some spotting in the week after, so that was inconvenient, but you put a panty liner in and you deal with it, and then since then, I haven't had to worry about any type of cramps. So overall, things are really great, and it's been really convenient. I'm really glad I made the decision. Just to end off this video, I want to throw in some facts about the IUS that the gynecologist told me while I was there. First one is that the progesterone hormone is actually localized to around your uterus. So that means that if you have like any issues with your hormones or you're worried about it having a more systemic effect, you do not need to worry about that. And the other thing that the gynecologist told me is that 50% of people who are on the IUS that I'm on stop having their periods altogether, which is kind of mind-boggling. I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, it's pretty convenient to not have a period. We'll see. After the week of spotting I haven't had any difficulties, so I will keep you updated if you're interested. So if you have any other questions about my IUS experience, how I'm doing now, feel free to leave them in the comments below. You can also message me on my Tumblr. You can ask questions anonymously or not anonymously. I'm also super active on Twitter. That's my #1 social media platform, in addition to Instagram. So it's sex_ed_Ontario, and I would love that. But yeah, upload of the day.